So just so everyone can be aware, number one, we've had Georgia Emergency Management here with us basically from really Tuesday throughout this whole course. We've got agencies from all over the state that are here. They continue to support us. That's law enforcement as well as other agencies that deal with the state of Georgia. And we're extremely grateful for all of them to be here. A couple of other things that I want to touch on. We continue to have Red Cross as our one of our providers that's helping us as far as providing us shelter in the evenings. That shelter's in Glenn County at Selden Park. We have a local church, Southside Baptist, that's providing a shelter during the day. I think it's really important as we do this today, and Josh is going to share about the fire, but I can tell you, I told some firemen last night, I was here last week on Tuesday morning at 12:30 in the morning, and we really thought we had a handle on this fire at 12:30 last Tuesday morning. And then today y'all seen, and Josh is going to give you numbers, but you see how this thing blew up and the impact that it's had. I can tell you there's been some devastating impact for some of our citizens, and we've got commissioners here today, but I can tell you we're all feeling the effect of that and extremely concerned and honestly very grateful that we have other organizations that are coming in. Like Samaritan's Purse that showed up today. So there's quite a few agencies that are coming in to help us. A couple of other things that are important. We have continued to work on, one of the issues that's been questioned is about the food for folks here. We've continued to work on that. We've got Salvation Army handling that, as well as another volunteer agency that'll begin helping us with supper tonight. And I can assure you that we're going to make sure all of the firefighters and the other folks that need support as far as food is taken care of. We've got several roads that have been open. Rest assured, if you will go to the Sheriff's Facebook page, all of those roads and all of the details of them being able to get back in are expressed and clearly defined on that Facebook page. I'm not going to go over that all with you because it's all there on the Facebook page. Our curfew has been in place from the beginning of this for the affected areas. So any road that's been open now is no longer under our curfew, but the Browntown Road area remains to be under the curfew. And that's primarily so at night because we have night operations going on, and Josh will explain that, but we want to keep those guys safe. So with that in mind, I'm glad that you all are here today. I can tell you we're going to have, I think, what's going to be some positive news from Josh. And with Josh, with that, I'll turn this over to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Josh Graham. I'm the Incident Commander Trainee for the Critical Incident Management Team 1 from the Southern Region. Today we have 22,600 acres, 32% contained. So over the last 2 days we've reported that same acreage. That means it hasn't grown over the last 2 days. We've taken an extremely aggressive approach to the suppression efforts. Initially, 3 or 4 days ago, it was more hold what you have, but now we are able to strengthen our lines and make sure that those are holding well. No additional structures lost over the last 24 hours. That's really good news. Help from the weather was a big deal. We got 0.8 inches of rain over the fire 2 nights ago. That's pretty significant. That really helps with the long-standing drought that you're all aware of in the state of Georgia. That drought continues down to Florida. Florida experienced a couple new starts. Along with Alabama and parts of Mississippi. We're coordinating with them and talking with them as well. I wanted to read over some statistics that we shared with the governor's office last night that you might have heard today, and clear up just a couple of little things. There are 9, and I got to read it, I apologize. There's a lot here. 9 large air tankers in the geographic area in Lake City, Florida that we have access to. They've flown 285 hours and utilized 320,470 gallons of retardant. There's 415 square miles of a temporary flight restrictions, minimizing air traffic across the fire area so that we can operate. That includes drones over the fire area. Evacuation coordinations with Wayne County, Brantley County, and Glenn County continue to be a coordinated effort. And we were, Sheriff may talk about it, or I don't know if we talked about it earlier, but lifting yesterday of some of those evacuations. Resources continuing. 30 GFC dozers, 50 Georgia Emergency Management All-Hazard Type 3 IMT engines, and 200 personnel responding from across the state. 13 GFC and DNR law enforcement, 3 Georgia Department of Natural Resources dozers, and 1 GFC drone. It's a firing drone to help us fire at night operations. Federal resources, we have our incident management team with 80 personnel. We have 4 hotshot crews from around the country, Prineville, Oregon, Asheville, North Carolina, Arapahoe, and Cherokee from Tennessee. There's 8 Type 1 helicopters, 1 Type 3 helicopter, and with the helicopters, the governor's office reported 4. We have 4 assigned to the incident, but there's 5 additional Type 1 helicopters at that airport that we have full access to if needed. With that, the region prioritizes those other aircraft, and we are the #1 priority not only in this region but also in the country. So we have access to those aircraft. Operational overhead includes 8 division supervisors, 2 branch directors, 3 operations section chiefs. En route resources, traveling from again across the country, it takes time. 23 engines, 7 dozers, 4 water tenders, 19 tractor plows have been ordered and they're in the system. 6 task force leaders and Jacksonville IHC hotshot crew. 3 Type 2 crews are ordered to help us with the mop up. This is a long duration. This is not a sprint. This is a long duration fire. There's going to be smoke in the area for a long time. It's burning deep into those bogs and those swamps, and until we get, I think Johnny quoted 4 inches of rain, that's not going to change, unfortunately. So those are the values. We talk about life and property. That's our objective. In that order, life and property. So when we talk about, well, how come this structure wasn't saved and that structure wasn't saved? It's because our priorities are life and property. There's a lot of really good work going on, saving a lot of homes, but we're not going to compromise the lives of firefighters to save a house. We're just not going to do it. If the delegation came to me and it said, well, you're going to put residential structures as #1 over life, I think we'd have a serious conversation. I don't think you in your neighborhood wants a firefighter's death cross in your yard. It's not awesome. It's horrible. And it happens in wildland firefighting. So we make decisions, tactical decisions, based on those operational objectives, life followed by property. And it's terrible when somebody's house gets destroyed, but when you have 150-foot flame lengths rolling through the state, there's not a whole lot you can do out in front of it. So I think FireWise is a great public outreach to look at what conditions your home's in and evaluate what you need to do to protect your homes. That helps us in the long run. We're reported 82 homes were lost. 17 had damage. 4 commercial buildings were damaged and lost. And that number is fluid a little bit. We got to get people in there to identify what was a resident and what wasn't. So those numbers move and adjust a little bit. We anticipate more as we get in there and look and see what the damage is. We're on day 9 on this incident. People are tired. We're trying to give local assets days off so they can go back and be with their families, reset during this lull in operations, reset and come back when needed. My operations section chief met with the 3 fire chiefs, and they coordinated a response with the local engines. That's fantastic. We need everybody we can get. I have 7 pages of orders that are in the system. I read through a lot of them that we're trying to get filled. So we need help. We're going to continue to do everything we can to put this fire out. And this community is amazing. We have volunteers over here that helps feed the firefighters. We have caterers and trucks coming in. I really, really appreciate all the community support in and around Walmart, or you go to the grocery store, and the community support is just amazing. So thank you out there for everything you're doing. We're giving it our best shot, and hopefully put this thing to bed.
Chuck? Yeah. Got it. Good afternoon. I'm Chuck White, Director of Emergency Management for Camden County, Georgia. I'm here at the request of Brantley County government to assist them with this critical incident. This is a very unique incident, And so because it's been unique and there's been rolling evacuations and then allowing, in some cases, back to voluntary or allowing people back in or areas we can't get to, you've heard it said, this is very fluid in nature. And that then leads to the challenge of how do we know what our public needs in Brantley County? What are those unmet needs? My responsibility to Brantley County is to directly address unmet emergency types needs. We will roll into a more formal recovery at some point, but today our focus is on how do we get the things you critically need now to you. We've got call-in lines. I request everyone, the Red Cross is extending itself to basically be a coordination point for a number of volunteer organizations here to be the 1-800 Red Cross number that's then going to put that information back to our unit to let us put it in the right lane for the right provider to help whatever that request may be. In support of that, it's time for us to stand in front of those that have been affected by this fire. And to do that, at 9:00 a.m. this Saturday at the Brantley County Recreation Center, we're going to basically put together what we call a multi-agency resource center. The purpose is to put a lot of providers that represent a lot of organizations that bring something to support this public as a one-stop shop to let you get out and have a face-to-face with a human being to help us understand what your issue is and how we're going to help you address that issue. I've got a lot of agencies and organizations that will be part of that on Saturday. The plan is, of course, to be at the at the Brantley County Recreation Center. If we have to move it, we'll have a contingency plan for rain. I said rain. We're hoping we have rain. I'm hoping I have to move it, but right now that's not for sure, right? But again, it's time for us to get out, talk to you now to start better understanding, and we've been doing a lot of things to push resources, everything from diapers to chapstick, not just taking care of first responders. I drive around this community and I'm seeing just how amazing the Brantley County people are in standing up, opening a storefront, bringing in resources, organizing it, cataloging it, and then letting people walk up that need things to get those things. And we want to build on, and we want to continue that. And Saturday is our next big opportunity to get everybody in and address those issues. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you carrying this message. Thank you.
So before we open it up for questions, just real quick, a couple of other things. I mentioned it, but Josh said something about what's open. The sheriff has a map on his Facebook page that has been prepared. So again, you can go to the sheriff's Facebook page. There's numbers that can be called, but the map on what's showing is open is basically there on the page. And I want you all to understand, there was a whole lot of discussion with all the players that involved before we opened any of that up yesterday. The sheriff played a vital role in that, but the red team did, as well as the Georgia management team and all of the other players, the state troopers, all of our law enforcement, because we have some areas that have stayed closed. The areas that were open, we were very conscious about the threat of there being any other fire situations that might cause problems there before that was done. The other issue is we've had financial donations. Our local Family Connection will be the host of the financial donations and any that come in to the county. We are in the process of forming a board that will help ensure those financial donations will go out to the folks that need them. But I want you all to rest assured, we're going to use the guidelines and the criteria that FEMA already has in place, so that if we have a declaration, we'll already have in place the FEMA guidelines, so we'll make sure we're doing that and we won't miss their numbers. So with that, I'll take questions, and one of us will be happy to answer.
Sir, Scott Johnson with Channel 4. As far as interaction of the federal government and FEMA, there's been a lot of discussion. Can you say if there's been any local request made to FEMA, and if so, what the response has been from the feds?
So Scott, that's a great question, and I'll tell you, our commissioners have been on the phones on a daily basis with our state representatives, with other representatives, with our congressmen. We had Senator Warnock here yesterday, and we have, the governor was here today for the third time, and we are seriously asking, especially through the governor's office, for any FEMA declaration we can get. Anybody else?
Have they been interacting at all? I mean, you've been contacting them. Has there been a response, or is it kind of just a waiting game right now?
Well, the governor's been here 3 times, so that's a pretty major response. He is the one that has to solicit that request to the president. So he's been here today for the third time.
Cam McCann, WTOC. I remember that in the past, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm going there next.
Okay. That, in the past you guys said that you were mopping this up on Thursday. Containment was at 15%, but then it flew all out of proportion. What's to keep, wind from blowing this fire back up?
That's a really good question. I'm going to let Josh answer that, but before I do, I'm going to tell you, if any of you've listened to me or anything I've said from the day one, this is a dynamic fire that's a wind event, and that continues to be the same. Josh, you want to approach it from a fire perspective?
As time goes on and that fire burns down and we clear that vegetation, over time it gets better. So yes, we're putting control lines in, and yes, we're mopping it up, and over time those control lines get better so that it can take wind. We had a wind shift yesterday out of the northeast, and it tested our southwest lines, and after that test we realized our lines are going to hold, and we lifted that evacuation. So you kind of wait for the wind to test it. You think you got it, you keep putting boots on the ground, and then it gets wind tested, and it's contained. It's not controlled and out. So there is that possibility, and unfortunately time will tell, but we're doing our best to make sure that we can secure that line for the residents and the people around.
I have a follow-up, sorry. Is there a specific day or time of day in the coming week that you're looking at as when maybe you guys will have some fire tests or some wind tests?
Yeah, today's Tuesday. Tomorrow's going to be a fire day. We have a fire weather matrix right there on that board, and the colors represent danger to us and the fire. So red's not good, green is good. You can look at the humidity throughout the week, the 7 days there.
Mr. Kaysen?
Yes, ma'am.
Madison Bogley with Action News Jax. Do you have an estimate on the damage done monetarily? And for those people, are insurance companies already on the ground here?
So we've had the insurance commissioner staff and folks here, and he's been here also this week. That's one of the things that Chuck's got working. So we know we're going to have folks from the insurance commissioner's office here on Saturday. We do not have a damage estimate yet. We just know basically the number of properties, but it's going to be a significant number. And when I say significant, I mean it's up. I couldn't say million or millions or tens of millions. I can tell you it's going to be a significant number. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Amy Metz, Newsmax. Curious, Josh probably has this answer about, and if you could speak on anything that your incident meteorologist has provided about wind forecasts for tomorrow and how that might affect the fire.
Yeah, the forecast, I'm not a meteorologist, so I'd refer to that chart as we look at numbers, but saying that tomorrow's going to be a fire day, the instabilities in the atmosphere given lift, and that lift creates surface winds. So I mean, I could talk all day about weather and winds, but that's generally the sense, and the relative humidity. I think it's in brown color there. It's tracking down. We've had green color in the humidity above 40%, and now it's tracking down to 32%. That humidity mixed with winds for tomorrow is to us a watch out situation. So we're hopeful that the aggressive attack we've had over the last 2 days will balance that weather change. Good question.
Is there any indication why the FEMA declaration has not been forthcoming in your discussions with the governor?
I can tell you that's something that I don't think any of our commissioners could really give you a clear response to. We know he was here again today. Senator Warnock was here yesterday. So we are hoping that could happen. I mean, he's on his way back to Atlanta now. He has to make the request to the president. The president then has to decide. And there is, and not any of us have been told the criteria that we have to meet for that. But we know there is criteria that's very specific to the event, and we don't know when we're going to meet that threshold. So we're kind of like all the folks that were waiting to get back home on Highway 110 yesterday. I'll tell you this, they're bugging the daylights out of them as much as they can to try to get it done. 2 more questions if you have them.
Would you accept FEMA? Is FEMA your preferred method of help, or would you want it from the state of Georgia?
So I can tell you right now that we don't have a citizen here that's not going to be willing to take any help they can get from any source they can get. I mean, so I mean, and that's the way we've been since we've been here. I mean, we have Georgia Forestry here, and the head of the Georgia Forestry Commission has been on site on a regular basis. We've got some insurance folks that are here. The head man has been here. GEMA, the director for GEMA, has been here. And we'll take, well, I mean, would you agree, bosses?
Yes, sir.
We'll take anything we can get from anyone right now.
We're not going to turn down any deals.
What kind of shift rotations are the fire crews on?
We have 2 shifts, 0800 in the morning to 2000 in the evening, and then 2000 in the evening, a night shift that goes all the way to 8 o'clock in the morning. And they overlap, and they fill each other with information on where the hot spots were as they overlap in that time. Good question.
How many of these are volunteer firefighters?
Mitty, and that's the last question, but Mitty, honestly, we don't know the departments that are from out of the area, but all 5 departments here in Brantley County are all volunteers. So we have 5 volunteer departments here, and one of the things, just for clarification's sake, our volunteers primarily fight brush fires and fight very little structure. And so our men that are here in this county on a regular basis, in fact, we got a brush fire call out of this district today. Those volunteers are continuing to make sure we're covering the whole county, Mitty, but all of ours are volunteer. A lot of these folks are paid. Thank you. Appreciate y'all being here today. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it.